No sooks, no lefties tonight. Joining me, as always, in the man cave, the carryover champ, our dear favourite, none other than the wonderful Bronwyn Bishop. How are you, Rockstar?
Terrific, thank you very much.
Lovely to see you. A rock star in the making, and equally one of our favourites, none other than the wonderful Kristen Abram, of course, a passionate libertarian, joining us for the first time this year. Lovely to see you, mate. Hopefully you've had a good summer as well, and I'm sure the three of us could have a very good, long philosophical discussion about hate laws and the overextension of these things and the infringements around free speech. I will save that for when they start to become a potential reality in New South Wales. But let's start on where I mentioned the worst poll that Albo could have going into an election year, where, as we said, 55% of people say that he's doing a poor or a very poor job. The preferred Prime Minister number is now 39-34 nationally. It's 42-33 in favour of Peter Dutton in New South Wales, 38-34 in favour of Peter Dutton in Victoria, 42-32 in favour of Peter Dutton in Queensland. Bronwyn, polls aren't elections, polls are the beginning of trends, data, bookies, all the rest of it. But your sense about the start of this year when the numbers are coming in as clear as that?
I told you before they were ready to go on the 7th of December, and they will be beating themselves up that they lost their nerve and didn't go, because it's not going to get any better. I mean, the Prime Minister performance today was pathetic. I mean, truly, it was cringeworthy. When you start to hear him try and push away the responsibility for what is happening in this country because of his poor leadership on the antisemitism, and trying to say it's foreign actors, when the one word that the Commissioner used was could.
Yeah, good point.
Not make, could.
Yeah.
And he turns it into a full-blown thing. It's not my fault, it's all them overseas.
Yeah, it's the crypto people.
Absolutely. It's just unbelievable that the man who got to be Prime Minister can be that pathetic. You know, I heard somebody say today, anyone who gets to be leader, well, they have to have something going for them. Not this man.
You don't see it right now.
He never did, and it's just so apparent. Somebody pointed out today that the best week he had in the lead up to the last election was the week he had off at COVID.
Well, Kristen, again, in favour of Dutton, 42-32 in Queensland, 38-34 in Victoria, 42-33 in New South Wales. New South Wales, Victoria, Queensland, that's the seats. Now, are there enough to fully pull it all together? Yes, but it all depends on the performance in and around the Teals. But let's talk about, woketopia that is Victoria. Well, it's bucking the trend, and they don't want this bloke.
No, they don't. We're sick of the cream of the crop of Labor being Anthony Albanese. We are sick of everything that Labor has done to Victoria and disseminated it. And I personally think that we're going to see something like America did, because you can already see Dutton doing better in the polls. The only risk that I find in this is that there's a bunch of minor parties, left minor parties, that will prop up Labor.
Yes.
And that is the risk in the election, whereas the Libs don't really have that. And they might not be able to get it over the line in enough seats to form a majority government.
Yeah, I mean, Bronwyn, let's talk about that, right? Now, again, Sunday night, the full deep dive on this, but we know that in a system that relies upon preferences, if you are a Team Blue candidate or a Team Green green and yellow in the regions for the National Party, I am recognising the differences here, but you know the point. If you're a Team Blue candidate, that if it's you versus 48 people on the ballot, well, 47 of them are all going to get together, and the non-you vote ends up, if it's under 50, being able to, over 50, being able to get you. The preference discipline on the right that was shown in 2019 from UAP voters and from One Nation voters, where essentially 2 out of 3 of them backed in the coalition, meant Morrison won in 2019. When that wasn't the case, and it was kind of the other way around, bugger them all, bugger the system, and all the reasons why people did what they did, well, we got the government that we did. What's your sense about the people who are in a very significant group of people, like up to 17% of people who aren't buying into Team Red, Team Blue, they're saying independent, other, One Nation? What's your sense about what they're going to do with number 2?
I think people are getting to the stage where independent is a luxury.
Yeah, good point.
That they don't want a situation where nothing can be done about their cost of living problems, about their mortgage problems. I mean, the country is in the wrong direction. when you've got the snake charmer out there saying all these jobs he's created, 82% of them are in the public or public-dependent sector.
Correct.
The private sector is being squeezed out. Now, all those people who risk their houses to have their own businesses, all those people who are struggling to pay themselves a wage to employ other people, with the disastrous industrial relations laws, which are starting to be felt, and they'll get to be felt more, I think they're going to think maybe independence is a luxury we can't afford this time.
Yeah. Well, look, again, in the Senate, there's
Labor's
plenty of
definitely
pictures there. Sorry, Kristen, there are plenty of other pictures, and certainly, I'm not going to pretend that Kristen doesn't, of course, represent the libertarian perspective. And again, whether their fight is in and around the Senate, we'll all wait and see. But again, sorry, I interrupted you, Kristen.
No, I was going to say, well, the federal Labor government is taking a play out of the Victorian Labor's book in terms of stacking the deck. The more people that they put in the public sector, the more people that are going to guarantee them votes. And it's amazing that people don't see that that's what they're doing.